Capricorn, for the first time in 16 years, things may actually feel less intense. You guys had Pluto in your sign since 2008. And with Pluto taking up residency in your first house, you were undergoing this really profound transformation. All right. The way that Pluto works is that when one door closes, another opens. But that door that's closed, it is closed for good. So it is likely that the person you are now is extremely different from the person you were 16 years ago. And that pressure perhaps to change yourself or to look different is finally subsiding. It will subside, right? Because Pluto has now moved into Aquarius. And now that level of intensity is gonna affect your money. But that's another story for another day. But it is your money situation that is undergoing this transformation, okay? But now you are emerging as a completely different person. So what does life look like now? What does it feel like? What is your outlook on things? What are your opinions? It's like you're this new person and you are taking it out for a spin. And now with Pluto in your second house of money, and the second house doesn't just cover money, it also covers things like self-worth and self-esteem. This is probably the area, not probably, this is the area of life that's going to be transformed, because now that you're this new person, how do you value yourself? And how do others value you? That's something that you are going to start to learn. And these are the questions that you are going to begin to answer come 2025. All right, so if you want to know more about what 2025 has in store for you, stick around. You definitely don't want to miss this. Hello, my loves. As always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If this is our first time meeting, welcome. My name is Mel. I'm a professional astrologer and sound therapist, and I'm the founder of Divine Feminine Works, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. And as always, if you are returning, welcome back. So this video is all about the 2025 yearly astro forecast for the sign of Capricorn. Now, it's definitely for Capricorn rising, but if you are a Capricorn sun, you will also find this information to be useful and relevant, but you want to make sure that you watch the video for your particular rising sign so you will get a comprehensive view of what 2025 has in store for you. All right? All right. So you have completed this whole big ass cycle of personal transformation. And that was because Pluto was in your first house from 2008 until November of 2024. Now that we're going into 2025, Pluto has finally left your sign for good and is leaving you alone, at least when it comes to your personal ideas, your body, your looks, all of that stuff, right? So you want to take stock of how far you've come. You want to think about the, the transformation trajectory that you've been on over the last 16 years. How have you changed? It's really important to know where you're going. You kind of know where you kind of need to know where you've come from. And understanding your personal transformation is going to help you move about the world in this new identity that you've now adopted, that you've now transformed into, right? The way that Pluto works, it's death and rebirth. So there are likely certain parts of your personality. There's maybe even like really drastic or permanent body changes that you've experienced over the last 16 years and that now you're going into the future with. So how have you changed? Definitely in January and February. And I will say to do it at the top of the year, not just because it's the top of the year, but because Mars is going to be retrograde from January to February. So things are going to be a little slower at that time. During these first 2 months, you really want to assess who you are now. If your goals are different, if your outlook is different, if your opinions are different, take stock of that. All right. Now, the other thing that I mentioned was that Pluto now has moved into your second house of money, material possessions, and worth. And so now that perhaps you look different, you think differently, how has that affected your self-esteem? How is it going to serve to transform your self-esteem? This could also really impact your work, right? Perhaps what you do on a daily basis or even your career, because the second house deals with money, particularly money that's personal to us, money that's coming into us, our income. And so perhaps this personal transformation has affected your career. Maybe you've changed careers. Maybe you've developed different skills. Like maybe you've taken higher education courses, so you have an advanced degree now. How does that affect your bottom line? I think that Pluto in Aquarius is going to ask these questions of you and is really going to have you examining that as this new person that you are now emerging as, okay? Now, understand that the way Pluto works, like I said, is death and rebirth. So with Pluto now in your second house, this could be the end of a job, the end of a career, only to begin anew with a new and different kind of career or job, okay? So you may find yourself on the precipice of, you know, a new career. Maybe you are not working right now, or maybe you are in between jobs, figuring things out. Pluto in Aquarius is definitely going to help you out with that, but it may feel intense, right? It's always intense when we're not working or when we're in between jobs, that feeling of instability. Pluto in your second house, it may sort of intensify those feelings of instability or insecurity. But I guess the silver lining to that is that it really gets to examine your self-worth, right? We love to attach dollar signs to everything, right? And clearly when it comes to us as people, it's not the best thing to do to attach a dollar sign to us, right? And so when we experience moments of instability, especially financial instability, it really, our ego takes a hit, our pride takes a hit, we feel insecure. Pluto in Aquarius is going to help you go through all of that and perhaps bring up issues related to self-worth, related to money even, that you need to eradicate or that you need to get rid of in your life, okay? So you're kind of trading one intensity for another, all right? But either way, you're now in this new space as a new person. So enjoy it. Enjoy it. Take your new self out for a spin, you know, do new things. Like the world is literally your oyster now after having gone through Pluto in your first house. That is not an easy transit by any means necessary. And you should congratulate yourself on surviving it, because it's a thing. Let's just say that. Now, the other thing that I want to highlight about 2025 is that we have a whole bunch of dynamic energy in the sign of Aries. So we've got the ruler of Aries, Mars, going retrograde. Mercury will be retrograde in Aries this year. Venus will be retrograde in Aries this year. We will have an eclipse in Aries in the spring. Saturn is going to be entering Aries and Neptune is going to be entering Aries. So Aries is the hot sign of the year. All right. Now for you, Aries is your fourth house of home and family. So this is going to be an area of life that's really going to be emphasized for you in 2025. You may be able to start something new. So it could be you're relocating. Maybe you're starting a new real estate development, right? Maybe you're getting new property. Maybe you're changing or relocating homes. There could be something new happening in your family, amongst your family, like your immediate family. So again, this is the area of life that's going to be emphasized. So Neptune in Aries is going to give you the opportunity to sort of dream a big dream, create a new goal, and be willing to take action steps to facilitate that goal. Now, what I love about both Saturn and Neptune in Aries is that Neptune is very high, pie in the sky, esoteric, fantastical, and Saturn is very down to earth and grounded. So it's like having this new dream. Like, let's say you want to be a first-time homeowner. 2025 could really be the year that you set that in motion. But perhaps going into the year, maybe your credit sucks. Maybe you don't have enough for a down payment. Neptune is going to have you keeping your eye on the prize And Saturn is going to have you taking calculated risks and action steps to facilitate that dream. All right. So it's like dream and practical action all rolled up into one. And for you, this is happening on the home and family front. So think about where you live. Think about what's going on with your family. Think about maybe even real estate goals or home improvement goals that you have. 2025 is going to be the year that you can make those things actually happen. All right, so apart from that, to wrap this up, this is all about taking your new self out for a spin. You've been transformed. Like I said, Pluto transiting your first house, that is a very difficult transit. And you have survived. And now it is time for you to thrive in this newly reborn person who is you. So 2025 is going to feel like a whole new ball game because you are a whole new person. All right, my loves. So that concludes this video on the 2025 yearly astro forecast for the sign of Capricorn. Now, this was meant to be a very, very high level overview of the energy for the year. I didn't want to bog you down with a whole bunch of details, and I wanted to give you the most important things that you needed to know for the upcoming year. Now, if you want to know more details, such as what your love life is going to look like, how your money situation is going to play out, and the rest of the astrology for 2025, then you're definitely going to want to check out the extended video. The link will be in the description box below, or if you are a channel member, that video will be in your members section. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I wish you nothing but the absolute best for 2025 and beyond. All right, my loves, I'll see you in my next video. Take care.